Good day and welcome to another episode of What's Happening Today, presented to you by Rapido News Network. In this episode, we will first discuss the tragic news coming out of New York City. Then, we will discuss a new policy by the Biden administration that might help Americans save a few dollars every time they are at a gas station. Post that, we will talk about the rising inflation in the United States. And finally, we will discuss the major updates on the Russian Ukrainian war. So let's get started. In a shocking and tragic story coming from Brooklyn and in New York City, in which a man set off smoke grenades in a crowded subway car and was able to fire off 33 shots, striking 10 people aboard the Manhattan-bound N train as it pulled into the 36th Street station in Sunset Park and critically wounded at least 5 in a rush hour attack. The New York police have identified a man named Frank James, aged 62, as a person of interest. According to the police, he rented a U-Haul van in Philadelphia. A key to the van was found in a collection of belongings on the train that they believed belonged to the gunman. This collection included a 9mm handgun, 3 ammunition magazines, a hatchet, fireworks, and a liquid believed to be gasoline. The police has found the van abandoned on a street late Tuesday afternoon, about 5 blocks from the King's Highway station, where they say that the gunman had gotten on the subway, and 5 miles from the 36th Street station where the shooting unfolded. Mr. James remains at large in open. James Essig, the police department's chief of detective, said in a news conference at police headquarters. The suspect appeared to have posted dozens of videos on YouTube where he riffed off news events in long, vitriolic rants. He blamed black women for violence among black people and pointed to Russia's invasion of Ukraine as evidence that whites are genocidal. Now, in our next story, to provide some relief to Americans from rising gas prices, President Biden in Iowa announced that the Environmental Protection Agency would temporarily lift regulations prohibiting the summertime use of an ethanol gasoline blend, commonly known as E15. Now, this blend contributes to smog during the warmer months. Mr. Biden said his government was going to waive the regulation in order to lower the price of gasoline at the pump for many Americans. Now, this was a very unanticipated step taken by President Biden, who came into office promising to tackle the planet's climate crisis in response to skyrocketing gas prices, which have risen to an average of $4.32 per gallon as compared to $3.32 per gallon a year earlier. Now, on our next topic on inflation, inflation hit 8.5% in the United States last month. Now, this is the fastest 12-month pace since 1981. As a surge in gasoline prices tied to the Russia's invasion of Ukraine added to sharp increases coming from the collision of strong demand and stubborn pandemic-related supply shortages. While inflation is up across much of the world as economies adjust to the pandemic and supply chain problems, coal prices have risen more sharply in the United States as compared to the rest of the world, especially compared to places like Europe and Japan. Now, we will soon have a video in which we will be explaining how inflation impacts you directly on your day-to-day lives. So subscribe now and press that bell icon if you want to get notified whenever we post that video. Now, on our last story on Russian Ukrainian conflict, President Vladimir Putin of Russia pledged to carry out Russia's invasion of Ukraine until its full completion. But for the very first time, President Putin effectively defined a more limited goal of gaining control of the separatist region of eastern Donbass rather than the entire country. Still, there was skepticism about Mr. Putin's objective, especially from President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine. Zelensky, in his nightly address, rejected Mr. Putin's assertion on Tuesday that Russia's military operation in Ukraine was going according to the plan. He also questioned what kind of plan could account for the heavy casualties suffered by Russian forces since the war broke out. President Biden on Tuesday, for the first time, accused Russia's President Vladimir Putin of perpetrating genocide on the Ukrainian people. But he further emphasized that this was his personal view and not a legal determination. That was all for the major news update for April 13th. Stay tuned for our next update on the ongoing world affairs. We hope that you find this video useful. If you like this video, hit like. And for a continued update on what's happening around the world, consider subscribing. And to never miss an update whenever we post something new, hit that bell icon. If you have any comments or any suggestions, please let us know in the comment sections below. Thank you.